Hey and howdy everyone, it's Jeannie with Paper Pixie Ink, and today I am going to do a craft room tour video of my new updated craft room with the Ikea pieces. So let's take a look. So when you first walk in to the left of the door, I have 3 of the tall Calx units. So I keep assorted office supplies. All of my ribbons and lace and whatnot are also stored in these drawers. So they're not quite organized yet, but here's a general idea of what I'm looking at. And then on top, I have these 2 storage units. These are shelving from Stampin storage. I house most, not all, but most of my Stampin' Up! Stamp and die sets. I keep my die sets together with the stamps inside the cases. So beside that, this is I want to say it's called Brimneys or something like that. It is a bookshelf slash drawer unit. So I have a couple drawers down there, and then the shelving up here, and I keep some of my scrapbooks and notebooks and planners and what have you close at hand there. And then this is my workstation for, video editing and planning and whatnot. So this is where that happens. So pretty basic. This desk is a flexi spot desk, so it's a sit-stand desk. It's motorized. I bought it off Amazon for pretty cheap in comparison to some, and I find that it works really well. I've had this one for 1.5 years now. I haven't had any issues with it. And then beside that is my printer. So this is my color printer. I use it for pretty much everything. And then this here is just a countertop from Ikea. I use them throughout. They work really well. They're very sturdy. You can wipe pretty much anything off of them. I love them, and they're very inexpensive. And I just have that sitting on a couple of the regular Calx units, as well as one of the Calx wide units that are on casters. And I keep assorted shipping materials and photography materials and office materials and things like that. On top here I have, this is where I take my product photos. I am terrible at it. I need to get some new lights, I think, but this is where that happens. And then beside that I have, these are more units, so the paper units, these paper units here, are from Stampin storage. I don't think they sell this size anymore. There's 2 different sizes here. One size is 5.5 by 4.25 for card bases. So pretty much all the colors that you see there are all Stampin' Up. And then this one here on the left is a 6x6 unit. This ink storage right here is actually from Organize More. Everything else you see in here are all from Stampin' storage. That one in particular is one of the first ones I ever bought many years ago, and it was from Organize More, and I still use it. It still works. I just don't like it quite as much as I like my Stampin' storage items. And then over here along my back wall, I have lots going on here. There's tons and tons of things over here. On top of my storage, I have my punches. So these are all my whale tail and lockdown and all of that. The organizers, again, are Stampin' storage. And then I have my distress inks, so my oxides, and then my regular distress. And then I have my other assorted inks. I have my favorite things. I have almost all of the Catherine Pooler inks. I have scrapbook.com's hybrid inks, which is an ink, like a dye / pigment ink. And then on the very end at the bottom there are my Ariel inks, which are getting up there in age, but they are really, really nice pigment inks. And then beside that, I obviously have some ink blenders, and then this is like trinket storage. So a lot of the little things that I use in my scrapbooks, I store here. And then on top of the Alex drawers that I have here, I keep all my kind of flat cutters. I have my paper trimmers, I have my assorted other, flat tools, scoreboards, cutting mats, my multimedia mat, and I keep black and white cardstock back here because I use it all the time for everything. And then all of that actually sits on a bunch of these wide Alex units. So I keep lots of different things in here. These sit back here so that I have easy access to them while I'm working. So the first two are all like embellishment type items. So clasps and dots and bells and floral sprigs and anything else that I really use in my albums that are embellishments that are not ribbons or lace. I keep all of that here. And then these ones are assorted others. So other bases and some rulers and some other random like double-sided adhesive sheets and rolls and whatnot. And then here I have some more Stampin' Up items. So I have my Stampin' blends, all of my inks. I have my normal and my mini die cut machines. And then I have two Alex. These are the wide ones, again, without the casters on them, and I have them stacked together. This is all my mixed media style items. So I have, and they're not really organized or anything, but I have, my Art Alchemy paints, waxes, and assorted other mixed media items. I have all of that there. So I have lots and lots of stuff, and I have space for expansion. I also keep all of my glitters and embossing powders and all of that kind of stuff here as well. So on the wall, these are actually Besta units. They're 15 inches deep. They give me plenty of extra storage. I don't really have anything labeled yet. Other than what I had, previously labeled from my craft room in Colorado. So it's not completely organized yet, but it does award me a lot more space. So this is what all of that is up there. And then on top of it, I just have a collection of my albums on display. And then behind those are all my canvas panels for mixed media and whatnot, because I didn't really have anywhere else to store them, so that's where they ended up. So this is a tight little corner, but this is my closet in my craft room. It does not need to be shown. It's a disaster. On this wall here, this is all Billy units. So this is a short Billy bookcase, and then I have two tall Billy bookcases. They store a lot of my kind of smaller items. So in this one, I have some of my smaller use items. I have my canvas panels. I have all of my different adhesive types, and then I also have some more papers, extra copy paper, Nina cardstock, and parchment paper. So in my tall Billy bookcases, and these bookcases actually have the top extension piece as well. So at the very top, I just have more storage for some more of my albums, and then I have some more notebooks and paper and all of my Stampin' Up! Catalogs and whatnot. Some more general storage, and then I have these 4 shelves that are all of my floral type items. So a lot of it is flowers, some of it is leaves and other, you know, assorted items like that, except for this one side right here. And that is just all of my like metal embellishments that I just kind of mass store. And I store these things, a lot of these things that are loose in, these are photo cases actually, but they work really well for this and it makes it really easy for me to see what I have. And then my next 2 shelves, so, well, 4 shelves, 2 on each side, are all of my dies and stamps that are not Stampin' Up! So dies, stamps, embossing folders, and everything kind of related to that. So I keep all of those stored there. They're not exactly organized at the moment, but they're at least there for me to see. And then in the doors, in the middle unit, I have a bunch of different papers and my bigs, dies, and assorted cinches and whatnot. So I have lots of Stampin' Up! Paper and then assorted other random papers as well. And then in the bottom of the right unit, the right Billy unit, I have kind of all my black cardstock, my white cardstock, my craft, all of the cardstocks that I tend to use as the bases for my albums. Those are on the left on the middle shelf, so black, white, craft, gray, navy. And then beside that on the right are all of my like foil cardstocks and whatnot. I have, these are some alcohol ink markers. They're older. I've had them for quite a long time. I'm testing the Ohuhu markers that you can buy off of Amazon. So far, I am beyond pleased with them considering how very inexpensive they are. And then this is more dies and stamps. These are much larger sets that will not fit in any of my storage up here. And then the very bottom shelf is my 110-pound cardstock, which I use when I'm making cardstock only bases and whatnot. So I have black and cream and craft and white and some pinks. And then I also have some of my chipboard. So when you first walk in the craft room, to the right of the door when you enter, I have 2 of the Calx units stacked. So there's a 16 cubby and a 12 cubby. And the bottom 4 are just drawers, and I keep assorted sewing supplies. I have, you know, I have some of my fat quarters and all of my different threads and whatnot in those, and some other assorted odd items. And then these are all paper organizers from Stampin' Storage. So I have some of the 12 by 12s, some of the 6 by 6, and some of the 8.5 by 11 organizers. They're all made for Calx. They do have slightly different sizes if you are looking for ones that don't fit in Calx, but I love these ones. They work so well and they keep everything so organized for me, and I can find things so much easier. I don't have enough for all of my stuff, so you can see some of my items are just kind of sitting loose. You have some more chipboard because I always go through a lot of chipboard. And then the blue bins on the top there are mostly cloth, leather, and what I use for a lot of my book binding. I don't really share that too much, but that is where I store all of that because they are bulkier. And then you have my workstation. So this is in the middle. It's 8 feet long and 4 feet wide. deep, however you want to look at it. So I keep my cutters on this side. So I have my Cricut and my Silhouette and my Brother Scan and Cut. And down here I have like jewelry making supplies, assorted mats and whatnot, obviously. And over here is where I keep all of my alcohol inks and my distress sprays and other inks like that. And then this is where I do all of my actual crafting. So this is my workstation. This is where I do all my filming. I have my Sizzix electronic die cutter, my switch. I keep all of the different items that I use frequently in 3 regular Calx drawer units on this side of the desk. So I keep all of my, scissors and pokey tools and my regular double-sided adhesives and all of that kind of thing is all on this side. And then I have my sewing machine here so I can easily access it, and I have it sitting kind of out, so the countertop is further out, so I can actually pull my chair around and sit at my sewing machine to actually use it. So this is my craft room. I hope you guys enjoyed the quick tour. I will most likely do some additional videos in the future to kind of go over a little bit better how I organize some of my stuff, but this is a pretty decent overview of how I have set up my craft room. And yes, I am absolutely loving it in comparison to what I had before. It works so much better for me. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. As always, if you are interested in seeing more videos, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And